In this video I'm going to show you how to create dynamic data-driven videos in After Effects. Back in the day while freelancing, a client had me creating a whole series of most valued players videos across football leagues. Charts, counters, player names, club logos, you name it. And guess what? I updated every single input manually. Yeah. No expressions, no automations, just me losing my sanity. Let's just say my time was as wasted as my client's money, because I didn't know the wonders of data-driven video. And so you don't waste your time, I'm going to show you how to import data directly into After Effects and automate data-driven video creation. Plus, how to create dynamic charts using expressions. Because, let's be real, data in the form of graphs and charts is a lot more interesting. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button for some fresh After Effects and video automation tips and tricks. Data-driven videos usually start from a pile of data. It could be a spreadsheet, a dataset, an API, or something else. And your job as a motion designer is to create compelling visuals from that. I'm going to use After Effects template for NBA match results as an example, but the setup is pretty much the same for almost every use case, whether it's sport, stocks, infographics, or any other video type that can be derived from data. For data import, we're using a TSV file. Besides TSV, After Effects supports JSON, CSV, and MG-JSON files. Once imported, we're utilizing expressions to connect each data point with our animation. So instead of updating every single stat by hand, like I used to, never again, we'll hook up a TSV file to automatically drive our animations. For an even faster workflow, you can leverage CompsFromSpreadsheet plugin, which takes data from a spreadsheet to create different variations of your compositions while replacing media files and text layers. Let's be clear, using TSV's CompsFromSpreadsheet plugin and setting up expressions is already way faster than manual work. But if you need to do this on a regular basis, you might want to automate the whole thing. Data connection, cloud rendering, automated distribution. For that, you gotta check out Plainly and save yourself days of manual labor. If you're curious how Plainly works, I'll leave a few tutorials in the end of this video and in the description below. Now, let's take a better look at the template. When it comes to team names, logos, scores, date and time, the setup is pretty straightforward. You connect the data input, as previously mentioned, and that's it. But when it comes to charts and graphs, that's where things get interesting. You probably noticed the green text on the left side of my screen. It's not necessary, but what I like to do is I like to collect all of my inputs into one composition so it's easier to alter them. And it's easier to organize and to connect them with my data source, with TSV and CSV and other data files. Now the graphs. This one is actually pretty simple. Field goals, 3-pointers and free throws are already a percentage, meaning that they won't go above 100. So we can simply connect their values to their complementary number values and use this expression over here so we can alter the second keyframe and get this nice trim paths animation. When it comes to points, the situation is a bit different because they can go above 100, meaning that we need to add if-else expression to recognize which of these two values is greater, use that value as our maximum value, then just convert the other one into percentages. Now the lead tracker, it's actually simpler than it looks. First we're using After Effects native script points follow nulls to get these null layers from our vertices. Then we're using basic math to add up the scores after each quarter, use if-else expression to get the maximum value, then once again we're using linear interpolation to convert the values from points to Y position. I bet this one is the most interesting to you. Well, believe it or not, it uses the same expressions, just a bit altered. These lines are once again trim paths. We are adding up all of the 5 values and using a linear interpolation to convert that number into a percentage that goes from 0 to 100%. Then once again use this expression to alter the second keyframe. Now, for the first one it's kind of simple, right? For the other 4 it gets a bit tricky. We need to add this expression over here, once again linear interpolation, to an offset property because of 2 reasons. The first one is so it starts when the first one ends. Then the second reason, because end property goes from 0 to 100% and offset simply goes from 0 to 360. So we need to do the simple conversion over there. We just need to use the same method for the other players, add a few details, and that's it. By the way, if you want to turn into a Sherlock and do a detail analysis of the project file, you can grab it from the link in the description. And that's a wrap. For me, it's too late, but for you, start utilizing data-driven videos and let them save you from the painful manual grind. Feel free to check out Plainly on plainlyvideos.com, and of course hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video.